Marilyn Monroe is dead, apparently from an overdose of sleeping pills. But an investigation is now going on, and no final conclusion has been reached.
Miss Monroe has suffered from psychiatric disturbance for a long time. She had often expressed wishes to give up, to withdraw, and even to die. On the basis of all the information obtained, it is our opinion that the case is a probable suicide.
It's been more than 6 decades since the world lost Marilyn Monroe, and yet the mystery surrounding her untimely death continues to spark debate, speculation, and countless conspiracy theories. Marilyn Monroe, born Norma Jean Mortensen, wasn't just a movie star. She was an icon, a woman whose blonde bombshell image, radiant smile, and undeniable talent captivated audiences worldwide. But behind the glamour, behind the flashing cameras and Hollywood headlines, her story ended in tragedy. On August 4, 1962, Monroe was found unconscious in her Los Angeles home by her housekeeper, Eunice Murray. She was only 36 years old. The image remains haunting. Monroe discovered face down on her bed, one hand holding a telephone receiver, surrounded by prescription bottles. Her death was officially ruled a probable suicide, caused by an overdose of barbiturates. But here's the question. If it was so straightforward, why are we still talking about it today? Why, after 63 years, is the cause of Marilyn Monroe's death still one of the most debated tragedies in Hollywood history? Let's dive into the conspiracy theories that refuse to fade away. One of the most famous and enduring theories suggests that Marilyn Monroe's death was linked to her alleged romantic relationships with both President John F. Kennedy and his brother, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. The theory traces back to a pamphlet published in the 1960s titled The Strange Death of Marilyn Monroe by Frank A. Capel. In it, Capel argued that Monroe's supposed affairs with the Kennedy brothers put her in a dangerous position. According to this theory, Monroe allegedly threatened to reveal intimate details, secrets that could have embarrassed or even politically damaged the Kennedys. Some conspiracy theorists believe this led to Monroe being silenced to protect the Kennedy legacy. This idea gained more traction over the decades, resurfacing in multiple books and documentaries. In 2021, former detective Mike Rothmiller published The Night Bobby Kennedy Killed Marilyn Monroe, where he claimed Monroe had left a note, hinting that Robert Kennedy planned to leave his wife for her. If true, that would have created political chaos for one of the most powerful families in America. Whether fact or fiction, the Kennedy theory remains the most widely discussed and controversial explanation. But the Kennedys aren't the only figures tied to Monroe's mysterious end. Another theory drags in the Mafia. Some claim Monroe's rumored association with mob boss Sam Giancana placed her in the crosshairs of organized crime. In 1982, author Milo Spiriglio published Marilyn Monroe, Murder Cover-Up, where he suggested that Giancana, along with Union leader Jimmy Hoffa, orchestrated her death. Why would the Mafia target Monroe? According to this theory, she may have been caught in the middle of power struggles between the mob, the government, and the Kennedys. Some suggest she knew too much and was eliminated because of it. While there's never been hard evidence, the Mafia angle remains a fixture in Monroe conspiracy circles. As if the rumors weren't already wild enough, some people go a step further, claiming Marilyn Monroe's body mysteriously went missing for several hours after her death. According to certain reports, including speculation in lifestyle magazines, her body wasn't immediately transported to the morgue. Instead, it allegedly disappeared for hours, fueling suspicion of a cover-up. Was something done to her body during that time? Was there evidence of injection marks, bruises, or anything that contradicted the suicide ruling? No official evidence supports this theory, but like all things surrounding Monroe, unanswered questions feed the flames of speculation. Now let's talk about one of the most intriguing claims. Thomas Noguchi, the coroner who conducted Marilyn Monroe's autopsy, later described his experience in detail. Noguchi collected samples of Monroe's organs, blood, urine, and stomach contents. The toxicology report revealed fatal levels of pentobarbital and chloral hydrate in her system. But here's the twist. Head toxicologist Raymond Abernathy decided it wasn't worth conducting further tests, arguing that the cause of death was already clear. Samples were eventually discarded. Noguchi later admitted that the decision left him uneasy. Without additional testing, it was impossible to rule out other scenarios, like Monroe being injected with drugs rather than swallowing them. He believed unanswered questions lingered, but he couldn't challenge the ruling at the time. This revelation has fueled speculation ever since. If more tests had been run, could we have had a different conclusion? Over the decades, countless writers and biographers have revisited Monroe's final days, each adding their own spin. Norman Mailer's Marilyn, a biography in 1973, Anthony Summers' Goddess, The Secret Lives of Marilyn Monroe in 1985, and Matthew Smith's Victim, The Secret Tapes of Marilyn Monroe in 2003, all repeated theories about the Kennedys, drugs, cover-ups, and hidden truths. Each book reignited public fascination, ensuring Monroe's death stayed in headlines long after her passing. Of course, despite all these theories, the official ruling has never changed. Monroe's death is still classified as a probable suicide. In 1982, an investigation reviewed the case but found no evidence to reopen it as a homicide. Addiction, depression, and the intense pressure of fame created a tragic cocktail that may have overwhelmed Marilyn Monroe. To many experts, her overdose remains the most plausible explanation. So why do these conspiracy theories continue to live on? Part of it is Monroe's status as an icon. She wasn't just another actress. She represented beauty, vulnerability, and the dark side of fame. When someone so beloved dies young, the world struggles to accept a simple explanation. Another factor is the mysterious details. The missing body rumors, the discarded samples, the Kennedy connections, and the Mafia whispers. Each unanswered question adds fuel to the fire. And finally, let's face it, people love a mystery, especially one involving Hollywood, politics, power, and scandal. Regardless of how she died, Marilyn Monroe's impact is undeniable. She remains one of the most recognizable figures in history, inspiring countless biographies, films, songs, and even fashion lines. Her films like Some Like It Hot and The 7-Year Itch still captivate audiences. Her image, standing over a subway grate as her white dress billows up, is one of the most famous photographs of all time. But beyond the glamour, Monroe was also a woman who battled insecurities, addiction, and the crushing weight of celebrity. Perhaps that's why her story resonates so deeply. She wasn't just the blonde bombshell. She was human, flawed, complex, and endlessly fascinating. So what really happened on that August night in 1962? Was Marilyn Monroe silenced by the Kennedys? Eliminated by the Mafia? Did her body really go missing? Or was it simply the tragic end of a woman overwhelmed by her demons? The truth may never be fully known. But what's clear is that Marilyn Monroe's legacy endures, not just through her films, but through the endless questions her death continues to raise. Even 63 years later, she's still at the center of one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries.